All right, special guest in studio, and I'm so lucky to have her here. We say hello to the new Miss Kansas 2024, Alexis Smith. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Great to have you in studio, and what a treat. And I look forward to this every year. I have a pretty good relationship with the Miss Kansas organization, so every time we crown a new winner, I get to meet you, and I just had a former Miss Kansas, Annika Wooten, who painted an amazing picture for my wife and I for our anniversary. So I was lucky to have her talent, and we're going to talk about your talent here in just a second, because I think you're the first I've come across in all the Miss Kansas that I've interviewed. But let's start off. You're a graduate of Newman University, yes?
Yes, with my Bachelor's of Science degree in nursing.
Okay, thank you for being a nurse, and you are currently working as a nurse. I don't know whether you can tell me where, but what do you do?
I work in the cardiothoracic ICU,
Okay.
so I take care of patients that are critically ill with cardiovascular disease as well as lung disease. And when they come out post-op, it's my job to take care of them and make sure that they're on their way to recovery.
What a friendly face to see when they have just gone through something really, really scary. So good for you. I'm going to stop right there, because when I first saw your picture, I don't know whether you ever watched the TV show on the CW, The Flash.
I have not.
Okay, all right. So Barry Allen's wife, you look a lot like the actress Candace Patton, who played.
I got to see.
Anyway, I mean, a lot in my eyes. Not a perfect doppelganger, but anyway, I had to take a double take. I'm like, okay. Anyway, back on track. Here we go. Let's go out to Pratt on June 8th. Let's go back there for a second. There you are, standing there. That moment, right before they called your name and announced you as the winner, what was going through your head?
Oh, all types of feels. You know, this is a job that I have really wanted for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also standing in that moment and recognizing that we were going to have a Miss Kansas that was a woman of color,
Mm-hmm.
the first in the last 12 years,
Yep.
and the first one being in 1992. And so, you know, just us standing there, recognizing that what we were going to be able to represent and bring into the Miss Kansas organization
Mm-hmm.
was big.
Yep.
And so that was a big part that was going through my mind, but also everything that I've worked for.
Mm-hmm.
And how amazing it would be to be able to have this job.
Sure. What a proud moment for you, and I'm so happy for you, really. What does winning the scholarship mean? I mean, what does that do for you as far as opening doors?
For me, I want to go back to school.
Okay.
So I finished my bachelor's degree. I want to go back, get my CRNA, which is Certified Registered Nurse Anesthetist.
Okay.
So I'll be doing some anesthesiology side of nursing. So, you know, I want to go back to Newman University, my alma mater,
Sure.
and it's not a cheap school. So being able to have these scholarships is going to be big for me.
Yeah, good for you. Do you remember your talent? Let's talk about your talent. A ventriloquist.
Yes.
Do you remember your first puppet, your first ventriloquist friend?
I do. I actually uploaded a picture on my Instagram with my first puppet. It was actually passed down from my aunt, Amanda, who was a self-taught ventriloquist.
Wow.
Also competed at Miss Kansas.
Okay.
But it was a little, you know, kind of cotton like the ventriloquist doll with red pigtails. And so now, this last year, I was able to purchase 2 new ventriloquism dolls.
Good for you.
That are much more modernized, less scary looking.
Yeah, I was going to say not creepy, right?
Right. So it's been an honor to be able to, you know, have 19 years of experience with ventriloquism and be able to utilize it here in this space as Miss Kansas.
Sure, that's incredible. Do you remember the first paying gig as a ventriloquist that you did in front of a crowd of strangers, and do you remember what that was like?
Stranger. So the first time I utilized it was in pageantry. I started pageants very young, and
Sure.
I think I learned ventriloquism at age of 6. I probably started performing 7 or 8.
Okay.
But outside of pageantry, I also got to perform at different festivals and nursing homes. And, you know, everyone is just so excited to be able to see that talent. They're very welcoming with it. So it's always been a fun experience.
It brings joy. One of the very first people I ever met in radio way back early in my career was Jeff Dunham. When he was just getting started, you know, and to see how his career went. So I hope you have an equally as successful career as him. I mean, if you had to choose, if you could be super successful with ventriloquism or nursing, what would you choose?
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
I got to choose one.
You can't say both. You can't say both.
know. You know, I would probably say as a nurse, that's going to be my career where I'm going to be the most financially stable and also be able to really change the quality of life of others.
Right.
And I've worked so hard to get that degree.
I bet you have.
We're going to utilize that.
All right, fair. You advocate for healthy relationships. How important are healthy relationships, and how do you go about doing that?
It's, absolutely important. It's in all facets of life. Every single one of us has a relationship with someone to some extent, and being able to have healthy relationships is what makes us thrive, what keeps us healthy. and what makes us live a nice, healthy, successful life.
There's a lot that goes into it. Everything from setting boundaries to being able to have open conversations without somebody getting offended. So
Right.
I commend you for teaching people how to do
Absolutely.
that. Self-care is also a big phrase these days. The importance of self-care for me, it's either writing or photography or cooking are three of my top favorite ways to just kind of be present and kind of just relax and take care of the stress of things. What's one of your go-tos when it comes to self-care?
I always say the time that I get to spend with my family and friends are everything for me,
Okay.
especially since I spend so much time serving my community, whether it's as a nurse or now Miss Kansas. So, whether it's going to my cousin's basketball games, taking walks downtown with my best friend, or even just going out to dinner with my family that's here is what really fuels me.
Okay, you just went to food. What's your guilty pleasure when it comes to food? Like, do you have a junk food that you really love that?
Oh, I always have a sweet tooth.
Okay.
It doesn't matter where we're going.
Okay.
I have to look at the dessert menu or even
Yes.
go somewhere after. I know I love Insomnia cookies. I was
Okay.
so happy when they
Right.
came downtown. But oh yeah, sweet treats. That's big for me.
Okay. Last movie or TV show you watched?
Last TV show. This is going to be not so much of a surprise, but Grey's Anatomy is the show that I've
My
been
daughter has, I think, watched it all the way through like 10 times now.
Oh my goodness.
She just is obsessed with that show. You and her could talk for hours about
Oh
that.
yeah.
What's on your playlist right now on repeat?
Playlist. I have so many different playlists, to be honest.
Okay.
I've been recently listening to early 2000s playlists. I've always said I was meant to be a teenager in the 90s. The fashion, the hip hop, the music. So, 2000s, especially Destiny's Child, Beyonce.
Sure.
Love that era.
That's about the tail end of the era that I was DJing in clubs, and the music was so good. Everything from the pop and rock stuff to Biggie Smalls and the Destiny Child stuff. It's just so good. Such a good time. Having lived it. We know ventriloquism is your thing, and obviously nursing. Those one of the things you're good at, and advocating for healthy relationships. All those things you're good at. What's one thing you're not good at?
Not good. Oh, not me trying to think about it. I'm sure that there's several things that cooking. You know what? That is a conversation that I have had recently.
Okay.
And this transition into adulthood, when Chick-fil-A is right down the street, that's where you want to go.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. I always tell people cook fearlessly. Take a recipe and just go at it. If it doesn't work, go get yourself some Chick-fil-A.
There you go.
All right? So, is there a hidden talent that, your friends and family obviously know you're very talented at what you do. Is there a hidden talent that not many people know about?
I can still tumble. So I used to be a Division I cheerleader at Kansas State University.
Okay.
And then also cheered at Fort Hays State University. And I can still get down on the mat.
All right.
Including with my mom, who is in her, already. But she was a gymnast growing up. And so there's times where she'll come down from Texas and we'll just go tumble together.
So you had a lot of family influence there, from the tumbling to your aunt who was the ventriloquist. So good for you for getting some family inspiration to kind of steer your path a little bit.
Yep.
So Alexis Smith, Miss Kansas 2024. I wish you the best of luck in Miss America in January. Anything super important as far as preparation? Like, what are you doing to get ready for that?
The biggest thing I feel like to prepare for Miss America is to try and do the job of Miss America.
Okay.
So putting myself out in the community in every single way possible. That way I'm learning how to connect with others, and really just broadening my connections is what's going to prepare me for Miss America.
Good for you. Well, best of luck. Thank you for representing our state. You're going to do an amazing job. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and yours is certainly suited for it. I see the strength and the personality, and you'll do great. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.